Hi, and welcome to Lesson 1 of 3-3 Savings Accounts for Financial Algebra. A little FYI, what is the effect of the COVID on the stock market? One example is Expedia Travel Group, which is down 62% this year, based on $1.353 billion worth of gross business. The analysts are, however, predicting that Expedia will rebound in the spring of 2021. So we'll see if that's true or not. Let's go back over our last notes page. Write a question in the left-hand column. You are welcome to use the one that I have here, which is, how do I determine which month the maximum taxable amount of Social Security has been reached given a taxpayer's annual salary? And what you do is you divide their annual salary by 12, and then divide the maximum taxable amount by the monthly salary to get the number of months it would take until the max is reached. Get that question or a question of your own preference down. Circle your 24, and hopefully your 10 is already circled. Remember, when you're watching this video, you can turn it off, do your notes, and then turn it back on. All right, title the next page in your notebook as follows: 3-3 Savings Accounts Day 1. Our learning target is I'll be able to understand the basic vocabulary of savings accounts and compute simple interest. I want you to read the pages 131 to 132. If you don't have access to a PDF or a real textbook, I have the slides available here. You'll have to stop them, read them, and then advance the video. Before you do that, I'd like you to write down these vocabulary words that you're going to get the definitions for in your reading: savings account, interest, principal, simple interest formula, and interest rate. Please stop your video, write those down, and proceed when you're ready. All right, here is the first two paragraphs of our reading for today on page 131. I'm not going to read it to you, but I'd like to point out that this page does have two of the words on your vocab list: savings account and interest. Interest is the money the bank pays your savings. Here is the second two paragraphs of our reading. Remember, if you're watching this video, you can stop it, read, and then proceed. It does have principal and interest rate, which are on our vocab list. It also has a simple interest formula, which we will use extensively this week. Interest equals the principal times the rate times the time. So to figure out the principal, we plug in the principal and we multiply it by the rate, or the annual interest rate expressed as a decimal, and then we plug in the number of years it's in the account. Here are the next two paragraphs of our reading. Here's our final paragraph on certificates of deposit. Please stop it, read the paragraph, and then proceed when you're ready. Here is an example of example 1, which is in our book on page 132. We are going to have it on a similar slide, so this is just an FYI. I'd like you to think about what kind of banking services you use or your family uses. Where does the money that banks lend out come from? Well, it comes from you and me, doesn't it? What are the advantages of direct deposit? Many times you get free checking for a direct deposit. There are other advantages too, depending on the bank. Here's example 1, which is on our page 132. It says Grace wants to deposit $5,000 in a certificate of deposit for a period of 2 years. She's comparing interest rates quoted by 3 local banks and 1 online bank. Write the interest banks in ascending order. That means from least to greatest. Which bank pays the highest interest rate for this 2-year CD? Well, this can become confusing because some of these are fractions and some of them are decimals. The way to determine which is the smallest and which is the biggest is to turn your fractions into decimal points. And you just use the fraction. You don't need the number that's in front. So I'm going to, for this one right here, I'm going to go 1 divided by 4 on my calculator, and I get 0.25. So this is really 4.25%. Over here, I'm going to go 3 divided by 8. If I do 3 divided by 8 on my calculator, I get 0.375. So this is really 4.375. So if you look at these, the lowest then would be this one right here. Johnson City Trust. 4.22%. And then the next one is going to be this one, 4.25, but we're going to write down 4 1/4%. And then this one, 4.3%. And finally this one, 4 3/8%. Please get that down in your notes. And when you're ready, press play again on your video. Let's do a check your understanding. It says write the following 5 interest rates in descending order from the greatest to the least. So what's the biggest number here? We got 5.5 on. We got 5%. Oh, I can see that the fractions haven't come through. So this is 5.5%, and this is 5 5/8%. I don't know why they didn't come through, but we know that 5.5 is going to be 5.5. What is 5 divided by 8? Again, I'm just going to do the fraction, 5 divided by 8. Whatever I come up with, I'm going to put it down with the number that was already there in front. So it's 5.625 because 5 divided by 8 is 0.625. Biggest number here, going to have to be this one because it's bigger than that one. So 5 5/8% is our first number. Then we're going to do 5.6%. Oh, I'm sorry, we're going to have to do 5.625%. And then we're going to have to do 5.6%. And then we're going to have to do 5.51%. And finally, 5.5. Get that down in your notes. When you're ready, press play to go to the next slide. This is example 2 from page 133. Raul's savings account must have at least $500 or he's charged a $4 fee. His balance was $716.23, $716.23, and he withdrew $225. What is his balance? So mathematically what we're doing is 716.23 minus 225. When you do that, you get $491.23. Now, that's under $500. He has to have at least $500 or he's charged a $4 fee. So we have to subtract his $4 penalty, and his final amount or balance is $487.23. Get that down in your notes, and when you're ready, press play to proceed. Look over your notes, underline anything that's important. When you've done that, circle your 10. Here is today's assignment. It is, however, in our Canvas as assignment number, what would it be? I believe it'd be number 13. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.